Hi, this is Anita from AnitaAvalos.com, and on one of my previous posts I told you that we went to a cooking demo over at Native Foods and left with some great recipes to try. So we're going to try one this evening. It's the tomato garlic bread soup right here, and from Chef Tanya over at Native Foods. This is her recipe, not my recipe, although we will be doing a few modifications. And I'll tell you about those as we go along. But one of the first things that we're going to do, I'm going to show you now just how to prep it, is her garlic stock. And it's basically in place of a veggie stock. But we already have a veggie stock that we made, and I'm going to link you to Mike Lieberman's website for the recipe for the veggie stock and how we do that and kind of have it made. It's really super easy. Basically, we're just saving scraps of veggies that we've been cutting up and then boiling them, but I'll refer you to that for more details. So we're going to take that we already made and kind of modify this garlic stock and just add 5 cloves of garlic smashed. So I just want to show you really quickly how to smash your garlic in case you're not sure. Excuse the mess, we just went shopping. So basically you just take the garlic clove down, take the knife, be very careful not to cut yourself, and then just give it a good... It kind of releases aggression, right? So it comes right out of its shell there and its skin. And I've already put a few in there, so I'm going to let this simmer up over here while I prep the rest of the ingredients for the soup and show you that when it's all put together. Okay, so I've done all the chopping, so we don't have to mess with that, but let me show you what we got going on for ingredients. So the recipe calls for 1/4 cup olive oil, but I used a little bit less. So this is, we're talking about modifying, making it your own. This is something that I decided I wanted a little bit less olive oil. Also 1/4 cup of diced onion. 4 cloves of garlic thinly sliced. And we've got about 3 pounds of fresh tomatoes here. It's going to call for salt, so I don't know, I'm kind of stuck. I might use my sea salt here, or my regular sea salt. It's a little more grainy, or maybe the Himalayan pink sea salt. A really good sea salt is a really good investment to have, whether you like it a little more fine or a little more grainy, or just have both on hand, because it's got the mineral content that you're looking for. And so salt, although sometimes frowned upon, it does serve a purpose in your diet. The other thing that we need, oh, a little black pepper, sorry about that, is a basil chiffonade. I don't know what exactly it's called. So I'm going to say we're going to cut it in ribbons. Chiffonade. I'm not really sure. But this is how Tanya taught it today. So you stack up the basil like this, and then you roll it like something else, or not. And then you just cut it down the way here. And when you do that, you get these really cool ribbons of fresh basil for your soup. The other thing that the recipe calls for is, pretty cool, right? I think it's pretty cool. And then it calls for some bread in the soup, because it is called, what is it, tomato bread soup. But I avoid gluten in my diet. So what I did is, instead of having some old crusty bread laying around, I toasted up some gluten-free bread. This is a brown rice blend bread from Food for Life. One of my other favorites here is from the Alvarado Bakery. Love them. They have a sprouted whole wheat. It's awesome. So when it's sprouted, it's a little bit easier to digest than just a regular bread. But for this one, that one is not gluten-free. It's sprouted, so there is still gluten in it. This one is entirely gluten-free. So I'm just going to kind of crumble this up. Good stuff. Okay, so now we're going to get started with the good part, just the cooking part. So we're going to go ahead and take the olive oil and just put it here into my soup pot. Let that heat up a little bit. Kind of move it around. And then we're just going to start with adding the onion and the garlic. It's going to be great. Love garlic. I think I actually did a little bit over 4 cloves. Garlic is great for fighting against colds and viruses. have a little herbal trick I'll teach you guys in another post that a great friend of mine, Mike Bravo, gave to me. And it's helped me keep me from getting some full-fledged colds. I feel like something coming on and I take that and it's good. So the more garlic you can have, the better. It's really, really good for you. So let that saute up, and I'm actually going to add a little bit of salt. So it's decision time. I'm going to go with the Himalayan pink salt. So pinch to your start. You can always add more, add less. Up to you. Saute that up. And over here I still have the broth with the added garlic that I spoke to you guys about. Okay, so once this starts to get browned up, we'll go ahead and add in the tomatoes. Now, and kind of stir these guys around. I'm just going to let you guys kind of see what's going on in the pot. So there it is, what we're looking at. And so after the tomatoes are in here, then I'm going to also add the bread that I already kind of tore up. Just the crusty old bread, whatever kind of bread you want. If you know, you don't have to go gluten-free. It's just my personal preference. What feels good to me. Big part of my health counseling philosophy is BYOG, be your own guru. You got to find what works for you and go from there. Just like I'm taking this recipe and modifying it to what works for me. So that's getting all stirred up. Okay, so the bread and the tomatoes have been in there for about a minute, and then this is kind of the last step. We have to let everything kind of simmer together. I'm just going to add in the stock that I have, and it calls for 3 cups. So now I'm going to add in 3 cups of the stock. It's 1.5. And 3. Stir it up. You guys peek. So right now this is what my soup is looking like. Now we just got to let it simmer for a good 40 minutes. We're going to let it simmer for a good 40 minutes. And we're going to top it with our basil that we put together. Let's turn that down. See you guys in about 40 minutes. Okay, so I let the soup cook for a good 40 minutes. It looks awesome. I will say one thing that's different from when I tried it over at Tanya's. The bread did not stay as hard. It might be because I don't really think it's a gluten-free factor as much as it is it wasn't technically old bread that I let sit out. But it's still, oh my god, it smells amazing. And I'm going to add my little basil ribbons on top. And wow, that is just a beautiful, beautiful soup. You might want to, if you do eat cheese, I think a little goat cheese would be great. Tanya also recommended if you want a little bit of protein, you could put a little bit of pine nuts on top. And oh my goodness, it would just go so well with an Italian salad. Imagine that. So my question to you today is, what is your favorite soup? What's your favorite homemade soup on a rainy day or a cold day, or just when you feel like a little comfort? And please let me know what your favorite soup is, and maybe if you're inspired to try this one.